What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, well, we are in Broken Spaces 11, following up our 10 video, and today we're gonna hopefully show off a very handy tool that a lot of people probably don't know about, and that is we're gonna be adding in Elena, yes, the regular Elena into our team with energy for one big reason. Of course, the biggest enemy in this entire Broken Spaces is Forces. The fact that his Curse of Decay triggers, removes debuffs, and nukes you down. Number one, it's a mark, so it's very, very deadly. Number two is just, it's so much damage. It is so much damage. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna change a couple things up here. You know what? Hold on. I gotta take a look at something too, because I can't remember. I honestly can't remember regular Vulcan skills if he dazzles at all. I cannot remember if he does. I don't think he does. He has a fear effect, but the fear effect like only happens if we have heroes die. So if we can jump into this team and change everybody's E3 over to Mark Purify, just in case we do get it, it might keep us going. Now, Unbending Will doesn't do too much for us anyway, and that's simply because, well, it's a mark damage. It's going to kill us through Unbending Will either way. We're going to try to do an energy feed setup still. We're not going to have Hyperspace on our Island Mock in this team. We're going mainly for the pure damage setup. We're hoping Elena is the MVP with this ability. And it's the reason here is as red. So, at the beginning of each battle or at the end of each round, it conjures one Shadow Demon to possess a random enemy for 4 rounds. When an ally releases active skills, it reduces their healing, blah, blah, blah. All that doesn't really matter too much. It does have ways to get Shadow Lurk and stuff like that. At the end of each round, restores HP of self and the one ally with the lowest HP, which should be like one of our supports like Heart Watcher. And then when self is below 50% for the first time, so she has a way to get Shadow Lurk. But the big part is this Shadow Demon, and that part comes in right here. Not only does the active skill give Shadow Lurk to the 3 allies with lowest HP, which should be her, Heart Watcher, and Drake, gives them some extra dodge chance, which is pretty solid. Meanwhile, deals damage, blah, 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 inflicts outburst of magic on them if their energy is no less than 50. So that means if they're above 50, what they're going to do is they're going to take every point of energy, deal damage, and clear that energy just like Carry does. And then there's a 35% chance to petrify them for 2 rounds if the energy is lower than 50. We don't really care about that. What we care about is making sure they don't get actives off. So let's throw Elena in here. Hopefully this works. I've yet to test this on my own account here. So fingers crossed this keeps our team going. So I think everything looks good to go. Let's jump in the battle. Hopefully we can counter this hero simply by having an Elena. Oh Lord, 10-pound baby Jesus, please save us. Please work. Please make this work. So they have the energy. So hopefully what happens here, it didn't work. So here's the question is, where does this little ghost go? That is the big part, because our first attempt was a big nothing burger. Is it random where it goes? And if it is, then there is a bit of RNG in this. So this one works perfectly. This one, we do have a ghost here on the boss, meaning we can drain it, and it worked out fine. And now from here on out, I think we're in a good spot, because now every single round she's going to be able to drain all his energy, and he's not going to get that off. So it might not be a 1-ticket clear based on RNG, since we didn't change the position or anything like that. And it looks like, oh, that's interesting. We have our Lord of Fear Aspen now lined up against the wrong target. I didn't realize Forces would be the lower target. But as you guys can see, our team is doing pretty good, keeping ourselves alive, keeping those supports alive. Because really, the only true big damage coming in at this point is the Forces. But again, we're also taking away all the actives from Vulcan, who does some huge burst damage, because we have one of those shadows on both targets. And it literally makes it a very, very, very easy wave where the rest of our heroes can be purely for damage. Now, of course, as you guys can see, we're up against the completely wrong target here, but we're managing to do some really big damage numbers. So let's see what we can do as far as perfecting this team. One thing could be just switching his position so that he's going to attack the top target, which should be the one. Right? Wait a minute. Hold on. I need to check. So the reason why I wanted to check footage is because I noticed even though we were doing a lot of damage to Vulcan, we weren't swapping targets at all. So I'm going to keep this here. Let's see if the defense down is on 4Cs. I don't know if it will be. It is. And we have that. Okay, so now this should be optimal. So you can see Vulcan actually lost a ton of HP, but technically 4Cs has lower HP at this point, which is pretty insane. That's crazy to think about. Now, we did have to eat that one big hit from Vulcan, mainly because it takes a while to get the little puppet on both of them. The puppet lasts for like 4, or curse or whatever it is. It lasts for 4 rounds, so you should have a good enough chance for it to stay on both of them the entire battle. However, there are some times it might not. And then, of course, once you have it on both of them, you're pretty much good to go forever. This is really weird. The defense down is supposed to go to the lowest HP target. But I guess just like, I guess 4Cs just has so much less HP. Is the situation that we're dealing with? I don't know. This is kind of confusing and weird, but I mean, if it's working, I don't think we're going to complain here. Now, they are doing some damage, you can see, but Scarlet Queen Halora should be able to keep them healed up since we're using her core. Every 2 rounds, at the end of the round, they should get a big heal. However, Vulcan did get in the air, and we are going to lose supporters and like a lot of them when that does happen. So still doing some really solid damage numbers here, which is nice to see, but it is a little unreliable. We're essentially taking like 5% off per hit, which means it's going to take about 20 to get it done. Let's see if 18 is actually enough with this strategy for it to work out. I feel like it should be fine. Especially once one of the targets goes down, this strategy becomes a lot more reliable. Yep. Yeah, it actually took less than that. So you guys can see how you can still run energy feed, even though it's not like you get a ton of extra resources at this point. But simply by putting an Elena on your team, Outburst of Magic is insane. But there is some RNG with Shadow Demon, because again, like I said, it randomly at the end of each round possesses a target for 4 rounds. It could be the same target that already has it, and that's why sometimes you see it drop off of Vulcan, and then Vulcan gets inactive and then nukes your entire team. But he is really, really good. Like really, really, really good. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.